Alright, hey YouTube, Rossi here, back with another video, and today, another mostly full series showcase. We got, as you can see on the cards back here, the Hot Wheels Cool Classics. This was a series that kind of took over for the, I guess you would call middle range between the basics and premiums. In 2013, took over from, late 2013, took over from the Flying Customs line. It was kind of it was a neat series. They ended up doing, they had this new paint that they called Spectrafrost paint. It's hard to really describe what it looked. It literally looks like Spectraframe, but frosted over. It actually looked really, really cool. And it was, funny enough, one of the first series to finally see that got it was, how do I want to say this? It was seen through completion. It was not easy to do it all, but they saw the whole thing through. And I have 50 of the cars here. There's 10 that I ended up not getting in the end. I don't have for the loose collection in the end. I have the entire series. I have pretty much everything on both card variations. I'll get into that in a second. But that's in a bin, and I'm not opening all of them. So a lot of these, all these ones that are loose, I've had them loose for a long time, and these other ones on the cards back here, just remaining ones I wanted to get to for the loose set. So we'll go ahead and look at the first series here from 2013. So these were done. Each set is 60, or not 60. Each set is 30 cars. So the 2013 set had 30 cars, and the 2014 into 15 also had 30 cars. The mixes were done up differently though. So 2013 was done in 5 mixes of 6 cars each, and the 2014 to 2015 was done in 6 mixes of 5 cars each. Yeah, we'll just go ahead. I don't have the 2013 ones. I don't have in any particular order. I just put them out here. The other ones they're kind of in order. So, just the first one we got here, we got the 65 Mercury Comet Gasser. Very popular version of this. Was the second release of the casting. After the 2 colors in the 2010 or 2011 Garage series. Done up in this Spectraframe kind of lighter blue with the white stripes. Love this one of my favorites of the entire series. Very popular nowadays too. Not a cheap one to get. And we also got from later in this, one of the last mixes of 2013, the 61 Impala. I absolutely love the Spectrafrost dark black, or kind of dark purple. I think this is basically what they were calling Spectrafrost black color. It's one of my absolute favorite Hot Wheels castings in general. So seeing them give it the metal base treatment, tossing it into Cool Classics, I was very happy for that one. And we got the 68 Mercury Cougar, complete with the opening hood. It was nice to see that they were still using this tooling at the time. They had debuted for the Ultra Hots line around 2007, I think. And it got a few more. They ended up using it a few more times in retail beyond that. Although I think this was the last time it got used. This 2013 release. Next up, 68 Plymouth Hemi-Cuda. I love the deco on this one. And it's actually, those that have been collecting a little while, if you know the, I think it was the 2011 or 2012 Decades series from, they can find at Walmart, the deco is kind of similar to the 69 Mustang that they used in that line. Fortunately with this one, it did have a little rub on the hood here with the Tampo. I think it was like that when I took it out of the package. I don't remember, but sharp looking car for sure. And next up, we got the Turbo Mustang. This was originally a tooling from the 80s that Hot Wheels had released. Very popular at the time, still very popular now. It's not easy to obtain a lot of those old releases of it. But they retooled it. As you can see, they retooled it in 2012. But this ended up being the only release of it. It's not supposed to be. There was supposed to be a release before this. It was supposed to, the debut of this retool was supposed to be in Flying Customs in 2013. I've explained before. I've gone over it a few times before, but long story short, the Flying Customs line, it was planned for, I think, 50 cars, and it ended up getting, 40. Was it 40? 8 mixes of 5. So yeah, 40 cars, and it ended up getting cut short due to basically poor sales. And unfortunately, this one that was supposed to be in it ended up getting dropped out. I think mainly because they had this one planned for the Cool Classics already. So, like when I think it was Steve Vandervate, he was basically given the task of, hey, figure out what of the remaining 20 cars you want in this last 8 car set, or no, 21 cars. The 63 Corvette. That's another story. If you listen to my Boulevard video, few videos back, you'll know what I mean. But yeah, I told Steve Vandervate, take what you think are the best ones, or the best of the remaining cars. And one of the key reasons he didn't use this one was because this version was planned. And we have not seen that retool again since, which makes absolutely no damn sense to me. I want it back. All right, anyway, next up, we got the 72 Just Thruster in antifreeze color here. Perfect 70s deco on it. Another fun one for sure. Love that one. And we got the 69 Mercury Cyclone. Love this one. Super sharp looking one. Love this cat. I really like this casting. I would love to see it get used in like current premiums. They've done it with a metal base a few times, but it was never with real riders. Always had one piece wheels. Oh, that's another thing. This wheel, it's called retro slot. And this was at the time when they designed this wheel for this line, and it was exclusive to this series for a long time. They kind of didn't really use it much outside of it. I think there was like one multiplayer exclusive Corvette that ended up getting it for like a few years later. And nowadays we see it get used in the main line and all that. But for a long time, this was the only way you could get this wheel. It's such a good wheel. Such a good design. Next up, 68 Copo Camaro, done up in pink. Love it. This is a cool one. Cool deco and all that. Just simple LE8 markings and all that. 68 Copo Camaro. Next up, custom V8 Vega. This was not the first metal base. That's right. This was in Boulevard. But anyway, let's see. Yeah, what was new metal bases on this? This was a new metal base. That was pretty sure that was the new metal base. The word was that one was, but I don't fully believe it. This one technically kind of was. I'll get to that in a minute. I think that was it, at least of what's here. Because there was I'll get to the cars I don't have in a minute here. But anyway, yeah. So there's the Vega. Next up, probably my absolute favorite of the entire series, the 63 Plymouth Max Wedge. And almost a lot of the reason. Come on. Can I get it to focus? That little wedge there. Love that. Love it. When Van showed this on a Saturday Sneaks video, I freaking lost it. Absolutely love this car. And it's a shame we haven't seen this casting get used much at all. There's the 2 Garage Series ones. One in red, one in kind of a race deco. There's this one done up in orange. And then there was one in a 2-pack, what was it, last year? 2024, I think. Paired with the Coronet. I think that's it for the 63 Plymouth. But such an awesome casting. They really need to use it more. Absolutely love this one. Top 3 in the entire series for me. Alright, and after that, we got 57 Chrysler 300C. Another one I really like seeing done up in here. And I also have some customs I'm going to end up showing. Just some basic wheel swaps that I did. We'll get to those probably toward the end of the video. But another one of my easily top 10 of the whole series. I don't know if it's top 3, but easily a top 10 one of the series. And next up, we got the SS Express. Probably, this might be the last retail version. Yeah, I think this is probably the last retail release of this version of the casting. They've retooled it in the main line in the last, like, what was it, a year or two ago. So, no metal base, and this engine piece is now part of the interior, instead of it being its own separate metal piece there. And no, that engine is not used as part of the rivet to hold, or the spin post to hold this together. It's attached to the body itself. Just same thing with that duster thruster. But definitely a cool version of that casting. Another one's like an all-time favorite casting of mine for sure. Love that one. All right, next up we got the 70 Mustang Mach 1. Now this, even though it's got that copyright of 97 on it, this is the, at the time, new tooling of this car. So originally, if I recall correctly, the grille, it was part of the base and was used as a slot to put this one together. They redesigned it to be drop in, so dual spin posts to attach it. This window louver cover here, that used to be a separate piece. It's now part of the interior because the window louver and the rear wing was like one piece that's basically snapped in, and then they cast the wing into the body on this one. That was a new, basically retooling that they did of this in 2012 or 2013. And this was the first and possibly only metal base release of this version of the tooling. Next up, we got the 67 Firebird done up in this purple flames like livery, complete with the Hearst logo. Brendan Fatuski's little baby here. Just a nice version of it. I do like this. This actually ended up being the only casting that got used more than once in this series too. There's a antifreeze one in the 2014 set. Next up, we got the Chrysler Turbine, kind of this gold color. And this was the only other release of the casting. They have not used it since. So it's just the Boulevard version and this one. That's it. Kind of surprised they haven't used it again, but at the same time, I'm not. It'd be neat to see it come back, though. All right, next up, we got the 67 Shelby GT 500 done up in this blue, Spectre Frost Ice Blue. It's a nice looking version of it. And we got the 67 Chevy Bel Air, the bubble top. Did I say that right? 62 Chevy. Yeah, 62 Chevy Bel Air bubble top. At the time, they claimed this was a new metal base, which I think was kind of odd because it had, yeah, they they must have had to retool something because this was in the classic series from, I think it was series 2 or 3. I think it's series 2 with metal base and all that. So, and that was 7 years before these came out. 6 or 7 years before it came out. So there's another one. We haven't seen the metal. I don't think we've. No, yes, we have. Never mind. Have we? There's a. No, that was the 61, wasn't it? I think that's a 60. Because there's a Team Transport when they debuted the Chevy ramp truck. Was that 61 or was it this one? I think that was the 61 Impala, so it wasn't this. So yeah, I think this is the only time we've seen this with the metal base since this updated tooling for it. And we also have the 64 Impala, done pink windows. Kind of hear a typical lowrider look on it. I love this one. Another probably top 10 release of the entire series for me. Nope, one more loose one. We got the 53, custom 53 Chevy. Another one I really like. I've always liked this casting since it debuted in 2007. Such a cool look. But I love the fact that they did the hood and it's part of the window so you can see the engine and all that there. So, just definitely a cool little release. So that's it for the loose stuff already. Now we'll go ahead and pop open the carded ones. We got T-Bucket here, done up in pink. I think this is probably the last time we've seen this casting with the metal body. Because I know they were doing a plastic body of it for a while. And that spin post there is from the interior to hold it all together. So, Larry Wood's T-Bucket here. There's that one. Next up, we got the 40 Ford Coupe. Now, why I didn't have these ones loose already, I don't... Well, I know why on the Rebel, but... let's save that piece. But there are some of these others, I honestly don't know why I didn't have loose ones already. Yeah, 40 Ford Coupe. Very sharp purple on this one. We got the Dixie Challenger. I think, have we seen this one fully with the metal base? I'm not sure. It's possible this is the only one with the metal base. At least of recent-ish years. They actually did a wheel swap on this one too. Is it in here? Should be in this case somewhere. Maybe? Not in this case, then I'm not going to bother finding it. Nope. Can't see it from over my seat, so I'm not going to bother. Yeah, I did a wheel swap in this one, putting black walls on it, just because I could. All right, and then lastly, we got the Rebel Machine. I remember this one I didn't have a loose one yet. Mainly because I had both card so yes. The card variation I was talking about. Is one of these got the red card? Of course, none of them do. Alright, so the artwork on these, they did two different card art. So one had the blue card art here, the other ones for the first series had red card art. I don't remember if one was more scarce than the other. Most of the time they weren't. If it was, some of the cards were 2 a case, some were 3. The ones that were 2 a case, you had one of each, so it didn't matter. This was one of the case. This is one of those scenarios where it was just one blue, one green, or one blue, one red, and that's why I never saw this one in stores. This one was like always seemed to be one of the first ones picked up. Yeah. Yeah. So there's the Rebel Machine. So a couple of the ones I didn't have here. I don't have excuse me. The Blastus Moto motorcycle, the 3-wheel, the trike. 65 Mustang convertible I don't have. I was like, I don't really care. If it was the coupe, I would have had an extra one for opening, but it was not, so I don't. You had Shelby Daytona coupe. And when it just, I like the car. It's just, it looks a little goofy. And then you got the tuned VW Beetle. Didn't have that one. The Buick LeSabre concept. I just don't have one that's loose. But the other two from the series are these two: 67 Mustang coupe, custom coupe, and the 67 Olds 442. The reason these are not with these, the rest of them, are because I wheel swapped them. Because from the factory, and it annoys the crap out of me on this, with the one-piece wheels, the 67 Olds only comes with the narrow wheels in the back. Why they've never done it, given it the nice wide fat wheels in the back for the single-piece wheels, I have no idea. I have no clue, no freaking clue. It annoys the shit out of me. So I said, screw it, one of those. So I grabbed an extra. I had a bunch of these ones. I grabbed an extra one of that and drilled it apart to throw these wheels on it. So giving it the proper look. So that sits in a jammer case with some other wheel swaps. And it's the same case with the 67 Mustang. Originally, when they started putting the one-piece wheels on here, they only put the normal narrow wheels on the back. So it just, again, with this one, it just looked weird. They have eventually started putting the wide wheels on it with all the plastic-based mainline releases of it. So they look right. I'm happy with that. But this one was just I wanted to give it the proper look. But this one, as you can see, it's not the retro slots, it's the black walls. I just kind of said, screw it, and drilled apart. I don't even remember which car I took apart for this one. I'll know when I go through all my Hot Ones. The Hot Ones Fly custom stuff. I'll know when I do. Oh, I think it's a Flying Customs Porsche 935 78. I think it was that one. I gutted the wheels for this one. So, yeah. So that's those two. Those will go back in the jammer case eventually. And then we got the second series. 2014. Well, 2014 into 2015. So that year, yeah, they swapped it to, they were going to do 6 5-car mixes. And they started the year off, I think they had, the first 3 came out about a month of each other. The 4th mix came out like 2 months later. And then they put a stop to it. Luckily, they didn't completely can the series. And that was one of those things where, you got all these damn leak sites that are out there and stuff. They don't always have the right info. Because 510 to 240 here, it sounded like they were canning the series, and these were going to end up being in the Heritage series instead. They were in the Heritage series, but before that, those came out. So those 2 mixes got delayed into early 2015 before Heritage series came to retail. That's the whole other thing. We'll go ahead and look at these ones. So first up, just what I got here. Just going to go in order how they are on the table here. Our 65 Galaxy, another one, along with, or where was it? Along with that Impala, one of my top 3 releases of the whole Cool Classics. Far out 65 Galaxy. So there's that one. Next up, we got the 84 Mustang SVO. Another great looking one here. And we got the 77 Firebird. Love the ghost artwork on this one with the blue and all that. Looks really sharp. And we got the, why is that being done? Something being dumb here. Why is that wheel rubbing? It shouldn't be rubbing. Oh, I guess it is loose. Shit. Alright, well the rear axle is loose on this one. So, it's not really, the rear wheels don't want to roll. But the 6.7 Camaro. Opening hood and all. Alright. And we got the 73 Ford Gran Torino. Another one we have not... This was the... It got retooled for Flying Customs in 2013. Then this one came out in 2014. Have not seen it since. And it's another one. Like with the Target Retro line, you'd think like... Casting like this would get used. That Turbo Mustang. It's like, why are these not getting used? Use the damn toolings. You spent the money. Use the damn things. Anyway... 47 Chevy Fleet line. Looks really nice in this pink here. Complete with the flamed paint job. And you got straight pipes in green. This was definitely a peg warmer. Not a popular one by the masses. This was, I think, I'm pretty sure, I think this was from the fourth mix. It was just from it was from the third or fourth mix. I think it was from the third mix actually, and it just kind of hung out for a while. All right, and we got the 67 Firebird here, and done up at antifreeze this time. This one I think is as neat as that kind of more racing livery one is. This one I think is just a sharper look to it. Next up, 69 Boss Mustang 302. Easily a top 10 release of the Cool Classics line. And you got the... So from the first... Oh yeah, so if you're wondering... These next five... The Mustang and the next four I'll show you. This was from the first delayed mix of that were delayed into 2015. So you got the A4 Hurstolds here with the Ghost Flames in gold. Honda S2000, more of a darker gold. Very popular one to try to get nowadays. And actually another one, probably one of my top 10 releases of this whole series. And you got the Ford GTLM. Is it still called GTLM on this one? Yep, still called GTLM here. Done up in this Spectra Frost Silver. It looks really good. They only did two cars in this Spectra Frost Silver. I wish they did more. And you got the 65 VW Fastback, complete with flopper body. And these ones, if you still find these carded, they still have... They wrap this one with a rubber band in the package. So be mindful of that if you kind of go to get more. And actually, the paint's kind of thin on the front there. I had two of these loose. So put that one at the set. All right, the last mix. You got the 240Z here, also in the Spectra Frost Silver. Good looking car. You got the 510 sedan. A simple look on that one. And you got the 76 Chevette. Love this casting. I remember when Flying Custom 2013, people were like, why the hell? Like, they just saw that Chevette. Why are we doing a Chevette? And then they saw what Brandon Vituski did with it. This is a cool little one. And you got the Subaru Brat. Complete. Yes, you got the Brat there on the B-pillar. Good looking car there. And you got the 2010 Shelby Super Snake. GT500 Super Snake. Really good looking one here. Have we? I can't remember if we've seen this one in premium again since this one. I think we have, like, one other time. So with the metal base and whatever. I think we've seen it once. All right, and we got the 52 Hudson Hornet here. Done up in antifreeze with the purple windows and scallops. Such a good looking one. Another one of my favorite ones from the whole series. And then, as you've seen in the background there, the always popular A7 Toyota pickup truck. Funny thing was with this one, I had probably about 10 of these. So when Cool Classics came out, they were supposed to be about $1 more than Hot Ones and Flying Customs. So Hot Ones and Flying Customs were about $250 at retail, Walmart and Target. And then, but yeah, these were supposed to be about $1 more. The Spectra, the way it was, the Spectra Frost paint is apparently quite expensive to use. So that was the main reason for these being same price as anything with Real Riders and whatever. There was no kind of base Real Rider line late 2013 into early 2015. It was primarily just nostalgia. How was nostalgia ended up, I think, becoming entertainment and pop culture. And no, it was Hot was nostalgia, which ended up becoming pop culture, and then there was retro entertainment, which ended up just getting called entertainment. So those were the two lines that you could get Real Riders with at retail, late 2013 into early 2015. But that was it. There was no garage, nothing, no boulevard, it was none of that. I don't know why. Never got explained to any of us why that happened. I never really inquired either myself. But anyway, so yeah, retail on Hot Ones, Flying Customs was 2.5. The retail on these was supposed to be 3.5. Walmart updated the pricing as they were supposed to. So these were $3.5 at Walmart. At Target, I don't know what happened. Pricing never updated, and this line was still $2.5. This line, which was essentially replacing Flying Customs, still ended up being $2.5 at Target. No clue why, and that ended up being the case that ended up being the situation through the end of through the 2014 Mix 4. And even at the time, like, I could hit up the Targets early, not when they opened, but like, not long after they opened. And like, they stocked up on this series. I swear, like, a couple of the Targets around here, I was the reason why they would keep restocking them, because I kept buying these damn things. So I had bought cases, but then I bought a bunch of extras. And this one, between a couple of the Targets, I think, it wasn't a thing where I bought them out every time of this one. No, I would buy them. I would buy a few and leave some for the next people. If there were still some hanging the next time I went to the store a few days later, then I said, screw it, and I bought the rest of them. So I think I ended up with like 10 to 12 of these Toyota trucks. But I ended up drilling a bunch of them too, because I wanted the wheels. But yeah, it was like I said, so it was weird. Like they weren't selling great at Walmart, but Target, they were having a hard time keeping a lot of them on the shelves, which is part of the reason I was kind of surprised. I kept finding this one. Figured this one would have been really popular at the time, because the only release prior to this that it had was 2012 Hot Ones, which was not a wide release. I'll get into that. That'll be a story for another video. So yeah, I don't know. I just ended up with a bunch of them. I still have a couple carded, I think, set aside, not part of my collection, just as extras. So I don't know, whatever. So that's that. I'll go ahead and open up the carded ones I got back here. First up, we got the Amphicar, the last release of this casting. There was one in Flying, as I forgot to mention, I missed it in my Boulevard video. There was one in Flying Customs. Kind of a light blue colors. I don't think I have that one loose. I don't think I do. I gotta look at the case. Yeah, so there's the Amphicar for Cool Classics. And we got the 32 Ford here. Yes, these are really dusty. They've been sitting for a while. Just haven't gotten to this video yet. Until now. Alright. So here's our 32 Ford. Still with the original tooling of this casting. Here's the original design. newer ones are, some of the newer ones are a little different. Yeah, there's the 32 Ford. And we got our 29 Ford pickup. One of my favorite castings. They really need to use this one more. There's actually one release of this casting. It's very rare. Like I even forgot about it for a while until I saw a picture of it about a year ago. I'm like, oh crap, I completely forgot. It was like some promo version. Black red 5-spokes, but it is very rare. Yeah, 29 Ford. And you got the Astro Funk. Oh yeah, and as you can see, 2014 another easy way to tell the difference when you're just looking at the card. If they're still carded. Pink and orange card art is the 2014 2015s. Yeah, Astro Funk, fun 60s show rod style casting that Hot Wheels designed up in 2011, so for 2012 release. And this one definitely gives Ed Roth look, or yeah. 68 Olds 442. And this one annoyed me because I swear there were like the first mainline release of this one was like kind of a brown color. The Treasure Hunt is a really dull brown color. This one is like this Spectrafrost orange that's not really orange, it's almost brown. Or maybe it's not really almost brown, but it's like it's just so close to those other ones. I'm like, come on, give us a good color on it. Like, it would have been cool in like teal or something like that, and then give it the flame look and all that, but whatever. I still love the casting. And then lastly, the Purple Passion. Of course, done up in purple. So there's that one. Nope, still original copyright. So, yeah. So that's my Cool Classics collection. Yeah, so, yeah, back to the whole price thing. A lot of the reason, like, these stat at Walmart, people were very upset. They thought this line didn't deserve to be the price they were. They thought why are they $3.50 without real riders? Like, so that was a fairly big contention at the time. There's a few of them. I decided to remedy that with some basic wheel swaps. So I'll go ahead and show them real quick, because why the hell not? First up, we got Shelby Daytona Coupe. Giving it the drilled a 2011 garage release to give this one that base. And we got the SS Express with deep dish rear riders, white line rear riders. I think I pulled these wheels from a Boulevard Double Demon, if I remember right. So yeah, I drilled this one apart, used the wheels for that Olds 442 back there, and then two real riders back onto this one. Another one we got the 65 Galaxy. And I actually drilled a I drilled a 2012 racing series version to give this one real riders. So I threw that base on this one. There's that. And then we got also did it up on the 67 Olds 442. These wheels are actually from the 2012 Boulevard Ford SVO, Mustang SVO. We also did the SVO, and I just did a straight up base swap on. Give it the Real Riders look. So basically, I essentially did these just to kind of give them a, hey, if collectors actually got what they wanted on this series, this is maybe what they would have looked like. I got deep dish on the 63 Plymouth. And one of my absolute favorite swaps I've done. The 67, or the 57 Crested 300C with deep dish white wall Real Riders with a rake look. So mostly they don't give this car a rake from the factory. I had to give it a rake, and it especially if I got low. I've done some pictures of this one from a low stance to give it that look, and it looks so awesome with the rake. So I probably would have just had normal white wall Real Riders on it, but I had to give it a rake because I could. And is there one more? I think that was it that I did of the swaps like that I can easily do. I did a swap on the Toyota truck as well. That's not in this case. Wait, no, it's in that case. Hang on. It's right here. So, there's that one. And yeah, I drilled the Back to the Future one for this. I bought a few of them. I drilled it and swapped the wheels. That's what maybe the Toyota truck would have looked like. Is there another one in here for this line? I don't think so. Don't believe so. Nope. I think that was it. Yep, that was it. There's those two. Those are gifts. Yeah, that was it for the customs for the just some basic swaps that I did end up doing for this line. Yeah. So that'll do it for this video. Let me know what you think. But yeah, Cool Classics sold well at Target because they were priced wrong. Didn't sell great at Walmart because of the correct pricing, people feeling they just weren't worth it without Real Riders, and it was weird, but it was the good thing was they completed the whole series. It took longer than they planned, but they did end up releasing everything. So yeah, there is so if you really want to, you could pull the full 60 car collection loose if you wanted to. Some of them are not cheap to get nowadays, like the Comet Gasser, Toyota truck, the S2000. But yeah, overall it was a really cool series. I would love to see the paint come back, but I don't know if and when they would do it nowadays. I could maybe see it done in the Silver Series without metal bases and stuff, but I don't know. That's probably a stretch. Maybe one day, hopefully. We'll see what happens. Alright, everyone. That'll do it for this video. Thanks for tuning in. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. Whoa, let me know what you think. And we'll see you next time. Have a good one.